9 signs you should cut off a relationship, whether with family or friends. In life, we often have to face relationships that can affect our peace and personal growth. Whether with family or friends, not every relationship brings us joy and positive support. Some people may leave us emotionally drained, undermine our confidence, and diminish our sense of self-worth. According to Stoic philosophy, mental freedom and self-control are essential, and sometimes, cutting ties with people who do not bring positivity is a necessary act to protect our peace and personal growth. In this article, join Stoic Epic as we explore 9 clear signs that it's time to sever all contact, no matter who the person is. Have you ever felt that a relationship in your life is gradually harming your peace, self-confidence, and self-worth? Some relationships, whether with close friends or family members, leave you feeling emotionally exhausted, losing trust in yourself, and even sacrificing your tranquility just to maintain the connection. At times, we accept suffering, thinking that sacrifice is necessary to preserve affection. But in reality, this only traps us in a cycle of negativity and harm. Reflect on this. Is there anyone in your life who always makes you feel guilty, judged, or like you are only valuable when you please them? Do they frequently make you feel insecure or cause you to doubt yourself? This is not uncommon, and many of us unknowingly allow these relationships to overshadow our emotions due to fear or a distorted sense of responsibility. But remember, as philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realizing this, you will find strength. It is crucial to recognize that you are not obligated to endure relationships that harm you. Creating distance or even cutting contact is not a selfish act. It is a necessary choice to protect your peace, self-respect, and sense of self-worth. If you do not value yourself, it will be difficult to expect others to do so on your behalf. In this article, we will explore 9 clear signs to identify toxic relationships. This is not just a list to help you recognize danger, but also a reminder that you have the right to set boundaries and protect your mental health without feeling guilty. We will also delve into ways to handle these difficult situations wisely and with courage. Give yourself the opportunity to better understand your personal value and build a life where you can truly be happy and at peace. Don't miss out on the important information in this article, as it could help you make life-changing decisions. Sign 1. People who always try to exploit you financially. These are the people who only show up when they need financial help, but disappear when you need similar support. They often create the feeling that you are responsible for their difficulties, making it hard for you to refuse. What makes it even more confusing is that they live comfortably, sometimes even better than you. Yet they always come up with excuses to avoid contributing or sharing financial responsibilities. For example, they might say things like, "This month is a bit tight," or "I'm saving for something important," but in reality, they still spend lavishly on personal pleasures. These actions not only harm your finances, but also make you feel unbalanced and exploited. The relationship gradually becomes a burden, where you are always giving without receiving, undermining mutual trust and respect. Moreover, this type of person often uses personal relationships as a cover to justify their behavior. They might say things like, "Friends should help each other," or "We're family. We should support each other," but in reality, they are manipulating your emotions to achieve their own personal goals. Actions to take. To get out of this situation, you need to establish clear financial boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no when their requests are unreasonable. One effective approach is to communicate openly and clarify that a healthy relationship requires a balance between giving and receiving. If you want to help, only support them within your comfortable limits, rather than putting yourself in a financially stressful situation for someone else. At the same time, observe if they are willing to change their behavior. If they don't respect your boundaries and continue to exploit you, it might be time to reconsider the value of this relationship in your life. Finally, remember that you are not responsible for carrying other people's financial burdens, especially when it negatively affects you. A true relationship only holds value when it brings mutual respect and support. Sign 2. People who always cause arguments. Disturbing your peace. There are people who seem incapable of maintaining a normal conversation without turning it into a tense argument. They tend to impose their personal views on others and are not afraid to use harsh language or even personal attacks to defend their opinions. Not only that, but they often drag you into awkward situations, forcing you to take sides in conflicts you don't want to participate in. This type of person not only mentally exhausts you, but also takes away the peace in relationships. Every encounter might leave you feeling stressed, pressured, and even anxious because you don't know where the conversation will lead. These constant arguments don't bring solutions or understanding, but only drain your energy and happiness. What's important to note is that they rarely recognize the negative impact they cause. They may believe that they are just being honest, or that arguing is a way to build understanding. But in reality, they often make things more complicated and tense than necessary. Actions to take. When dealing with this type of person, the first and most important step is to stay calm. They may deliberately provoke you or push you into a confrontational position, but you don't have to respond in the same manner. Instead, listen calmly and only engage in the discussion when you feel it is truly necessary or constructive. If they intentionally prolong the argument or shift to personal attacks, you need to know how to stop firmly. Don't let feelings of guilt or pressure from them force you to continue the conversation. Another approach is to gently but firmly say, "I think we should stop here, as I don't want the conversation to get more tense." More importantly, if these unnecessary arguments occur too frequently and significantly affect your mood, consider limiting your interactions with them. Spend time with those who bring you peace and joy instead of trying to maintain a relationship that leaves you feeling drained and unhappy. Finally, don't forget that peace is your right. You are not obligated to continue relationships that harm your mental state and balance in life. Sign 3. People who disrespect your feelings and concerns. Have you ever confided in someone about your worries or difficulties, but instead of listening, they downplay your problem? They might say things like, "That's not a big deal," or "Everyone goes through that." Even when you try to share your emotions, they quickly change the subject to their own issues, making you feel like you're talking to a wall. These people often don't recognize or care about the negative impact they cause. They may think they're helping you look at the problem more positively, but in reality, their disregard for your feelings makes you feel abandoned and isolated. Over time, this disrespect weakens trust and connection in the relationship, leaving you with a sense of not being valued or cared for. Not only that, but they also tend to dominate the conversation, turning it into a stage to complain about their own problems. This makes you feel, even though you need comfort and encouragement, that you have to take on the role of listener, as if your feelings aren't as important as their stories. Actions to take. First, remember that you deserve to be heard and understood. Don't suppress your emotions just because of someone else's insensitivity. When you notice that someone consistently disregards your feelings, try to create distance in sharing your concerns with them. Instead, choose those who truly empathize, know how to listen, and are ready to support you sincerely. If necessary, you can express your thoughts directly to them. For example, "I feel unheard when I share my problems. That makes me sad." This is not a complaint, but a way for you to protect the value of your emotions in the relationship. More importantly, recognize that not everyone is suited to be your confidant. You don't need to force yourself to confide in people who don't truly understand or respect your feelings. Empathy and care are the foundation of a healthy relationship, and you have every right to seek those who are willing to bring that to you. Finally, don't forget to take care of yourself. When you feel neglected or hurt, turn to activities that help release your emotions, such as journaling, meditating, or participating in a positive environment to restore balance in your mind. Sign 4. People who always impose their beliefs on you. In life, we often encounter people with strong opinions and beliefs about everything. However, when they do not respect your views, beliefs, or choices and continuously try to change you according to their own, it is a clear sign that you are in an unhealthy relationship. These individuals don't just offer advice, they try to impose their way of thinking on you, making you feel controlled and lacking autonomy. They frequently do not accept differences and try to make you change, even when you don't want to. This can happen in many situations, from making important life decisions to choosing personal preferences or even small daily matters. They believe their perspective is always right and that you should follow them, regardless of your reasons or feelings. They might even make you feel guilty if you disagree with them, forcing you to struggle between protecting yourself and maintaining the relationship. People who impose their beliefs not only put psychological pressure on you, but also make you feel less confident in yourself because you're always expected to comply with their wishes. Gradually, you may feel like you're no longer yourself, but just someone who does what others want. This feeling can strip away your independence and freedom, ultimately diminishing your self-worth. Even worse, these people may use emotional manipulation tactics, like making you feel guilty or ashamed for not agreeing with them, or convincing you that if you don't follow their lead, you will fail. They do not respect the fact that everyone has the right to make their own decisions, and that not everyone has to follow a single path. Actions to take. To deal with such individuals, it is important not to fall into the trap of arguing. They may never change their views, and you will only add more stress by trying to convince them. Instead of debating, stand firm in your own beliefs and resolutely defend your views. An effective way is to set clear boundaries with these people. You have the right to disagree with them and not to endure their impositions. Be patient but also decisive in keeping the relationship from becoming a burden. Try to maintain distance when necessary, and if they continue to pressure you to change according to their wishes, you may need to reconsider whether to maintain this relationship. Sometimes, the best choice is to avoid people who do not respect your autonomy, because only by protecting your independence and freedom can you live a happy and peaceful life. The advice is to always remember that everyone has the right to choose their own path, and no one has the right to change you unless you want to. Be strong and don't let anyone overshadow or control your decisions. Sign 5. People who only want you to fail. In life, there are always people who cannot tolerate the success of others, especially when that success comes from you. These people not only appear unhappy when you achieve accomplishments, but they also find ways to diminish your value, sometimes subtly through words or actions. No matter how hard you try to do well, they will find ways to make you feel like you're not good enough, or that you don't deserve what you have. In reality, these people are often driven by envy and negative feelings about themselves. They may never admit it, but how they treat you when you succeed reflects their own insecurities and lack of self-confidence. These people are not happy to see you progress because they feel threatened by your success, or they may even feel inferior when you shine. This not only hurts you, but also creates a negative atmosphere around you. Their words may make you feel inferior, such as sarcastic comments or unfair comparisons. They might say things like, "You must have just gotten lucky," or "I wonder if you can keep this up." Such remarks don't just confuse you, but they also create a sense of insecurity, making you doubt yourself. In other situations, they may deliberately downplay your achievements, such as ignoring your success or never acknowledging the effort you put in. They often make negative comments, making you feel like you don't deserve what you've accomplished. A relationship with such people will make you feel burdened and sometimes lead you to question your own worth. They don't only undermine your confidence, but can also wear you down psychologically with their constant negativity. Actions to take to deal with these people. The first thing you need to do is realize that their negativity is a reflection of their insecurities, not your problem. These people cannot accept your success because they cannot accept their own. In fact, their attempts to bring you down are simply a way for them to cope with their feelings of failure and lack of self-esteem. You should distance yourself from such people and not allow their negativity to affect you. Don't give them the opportunity to shake your belief in yourself and your goals. Focus on your own path and don't let them make you doubt yourself. Every success of yours is deserved, and you have every right to be proud of what you've achieved. The advice is that instead of confronting or trying to prove your worth to them, let your accomplishments speak for themselves. Live in a way that feels right and brings you happiness. Those who want you to fail will eventually reveal themselves, and you don't need to spend more time or energy paying attention to them. Remember, your success is not something they can control, and living true to yourself is what truly matters. Sign 6. People who always blame you. One of the most noticeable signs of an unhealthy relationship is when someone consistently blames you for everything wrong or problematic that happens. These individuals never take responsibility for their mistakes or decisions. Instead, they shift the blame onto others, with you being their chosen target. No matter the situation, they always find a way to make you responsible for everything, making you feel like the cause of all problems. This behavior can occur in various situations: when work doesn't go well, when a bad decision is made, or even in personal matters. When someone lacks the courage to admit their faults and instead blames you, they will make you feel guilty even though you may not be at fault. Over time, this will make you doubt yourself and feel inadequate. Blaming behavior not only devalues you but also causes insecurity in your mind. Gradually, you will begin to question whether you did things right, whether you could have done better if the circumstances were different, and whether you really deserve to take responsibility for the issue at hand. These feelings can wear you down and lead to significant loss of self-confidence. Moreover, blaming behavior does not stop with small mistakes. It can stretch across multiple situations, causing long-term psychological harm. A relationship with such a person will make you feel that you are always responsible for everything that goes wrong in life, diminishing your ability to make decisions and affecting your sense of autonomy. Actions to take. If you encounter people who always blame you, it is crucial to recognize that you are not responsible for their actions. Remind yourself that everyone must be accountable for their own actions, and you should not let their unfounded blame take away your confidence. Don't let their blame make you feel guilty or question yourself. Their inability to accept their mistakes is their issue, not yours. You need to stand firm and avoid getting caught up in the arguments or negativity they create. Instead of trying to explain or justify your actions, learn to stand up for your rights and avoid taking responsibility for mistakes that aren't yours. More importantly, if the person cannot recognize their behavior and continues to blame you, you should consider reevaluating this relationship and protecting your mental health by distancing yourself from them. Your confidence and self-esteem must be protected, and allowing people who constantly blame you to affect you will only harm yourself. Focus on relationships that provide positive support and understanding. Sign 7. People who don't respect personal boundaries. A clear sign of an unhealthy relationship is when someone constantly violates your personal boundaries. These individuals do not respect your privacy and always try to invade your space, time, or emotions without your consent, even when you clearly express your boundaries. They continue to act according to their own desires. Personal boundaries are limits you set to protect yourself and ensure you feel safe and comfortable. This could involve respecting your privacy, personal time, or emotions you do not wish to share with others. However, when someone disregards these boundaries, you will feel violated and lose control over your life. For example, they may repeatedly text or call you at times when you need peace or are working. Or they may encroach on your personal space, even sharing personal information of yours without permission. They may also pressure you to participate in activities you do not want simply because they cannot accept no from you. This sign not only reflects a lack of respect, but can also make you feel exhausted and pressured. Not having personal space and always being pushed into situations you don't want can lead to psychological stress, diminishing your freedom and sense of safety. Actions to take. When dealing with people who don't respect your personal boundaries, it is crucial to be firm in protecting those limits. Don't be afraid to set clear and firm boundaries for what you need in life. You have the right to request privacy, personal time, and respect for your emotions and decisions. If they continue to violate your boundaries, don't hesitate to minimize your relationship with them. Remember that relationships are about mutual interaction and understanding. If they cannot respect the boundaries you've set, they don't deserve an important place in your life. Protecting what is yours will help you maintain peace and confidence in all relationships. Sometimes, cutting ties with people who don't respect you is necessary to safeguard your mental health and self-respect. Sign 8. People who always drain your emotional energy. One key sign of an unhealthy relationship is when someone consistently drains you emotionally. These individuals may not realize it, but they constantly siphon your energy by complaining, judging, or drawing you into their problems. They may share negative stories or vent about their life difficulties without recognizing that you, too, are facing your own challenges. Every time you interact with them, you may initially feel energized, but afterward, you feel drained, stressed, and negative. These conversations not only fail to provide comfort or support, but also leave you carrying an overwhelming emotional burden, even if they don't intend to do so. Their constant negativity can significantly impact your mental state. Emotional exhaustion is a very dangerous state because it reduces your ability to cope with life's challenges, leading to anxiety, stress, and even depression. Over time, you'll lose emotional balance and feel like you don't have enough energy to focus on your personal goals or positive relationships. Actions to take. When you realize that someone is consistently emotionally draining you, it's important to know how to protect yourself from their negative influence. Limit your interactions with them, especially when you feel emotionally sensitive and need to focus on maintaining your mental health. You may need to reduce contact with these people or at least find ways not to let their issues affect you. Learn to decline negative conversations and set clear boundaries on what you're willing to share. If they continuously leave you exhausted with no change, consider taking steps to minimize your interaction with them or even cut off the relationship if necessary. Your mental health is the most important, and you deserve to be surrounded by people who bring positivity and support. Sign 9. People who have no intent to change or improve. A clear sign that you are in an unhealthy relationship is when the other person makes no effort to change or improve themselves, even after you've given advice or tried to help them. No matter how much you advise, share your experiences, or offer positive suggestions, they keep repeating their harmful behaviors, which not only affect you but also harm themselves. This can leave you feeling frustrated and helpless. You invest time and energy trying to help them, but instead of seeing positive change, you witness them making the same mistakes. This doesn't just damage the relationship but also makes you feel trapped in a vicious cycle where you always bear the consequences of their unchanging decisions. This person may make excuses for their lack of change or simply not recognize the issues with their behavior. However, their unwillingness to improve will make you feel exhausted and hopeless about the future of the relationship. You cannot change someone if they don't want to change. And you can't stay in a relationship where there is no progress. Actions to take. When you realize someone has no intention of changing, it's important to understand that you cannot, and should not, force them to change if they lack the motivation to do so. Don't trap yourself in a relationship where you're constantly trying to change or improve someone without receiving any reward in return. Focus on yourself and relationships that bring growth and positivity. If someone shows no sign of change or improvement, you need to decide whether this relationship is still suitable for your life. Don't continue investing time and emotions into a relationship with no hope for change because you deserve relationships that bring progress and happiness. Ending the journey of identifying and overcoming toxic relationships is a crucial step in protecting your peace and mental health. In Stoic philosophy, we learn to master our minds and not let external factors disturb our lives. Remember that you have the right to choose relationships that bring positivity and growth. And letting go of things that harm you is an act of strength. If you found this article useful, don't forget to subscribe to the Stoic Epic channel to continue exploring the profound values of Stoic philosophy and valuable lessons that help you live a life of freedom and meaning. Thank you for following. And I wish you strength on your journey toward inner peace and freedom.